Good little break there.
Next up, at UFC 294, we have the main card opener. We have Said Nurmagomedov taking on Muin Gafurov. Said Nurmagomedov, 17-3 overall, 4-1 in his last 5. He's coming off that questionable loss to Jonathan Martinez. He's taking on Muin Gafurov, 18-5 overall, 3-2 in his last 5. Short notice loss to Sexy Mexi was his last outing. Said Nurmagomedov, don't look at the last name.
You can say it. Go ahead and say it. There's a lot. I mean, there's a lot of them on this card. Go ahead and say it.
Another Jacob failed lock of the week in Muin Gafurov. It actually is crazy that there's a lot of them. 5 lock of the weeks on this card. They all lost.
Well, we have Usman, who was my lock of the week against him.
When was Usman your lock of the week?
I said against him. So I did win a lock of the week.
No. The actual locks of the week on this card all lost. You don't have there's like 5 of them. Who?
No.
What lock of the week was on this card?
Johnny Walker. Johnny Walker.
That wasn't a real lock of the week. He was minus money. Nah, it was minus money. That was not a lock of the week. Minus money.
You can't do that. It's got to be
I agree. I agree with those people. I agree with those people.
What am I supposed to do on this card? Everyone's a fucking 400 favorite. Jesus. We're fucked.
I know. You are going to pick somebody. This is what's going to happen. You're going to pick an underdog. They're going to lose. Win. Every favorite's going to win. And people are going to be like, Jacob, you
nice
suck.
pick, idiot. Yeah. That's literally happened before.
No. It was the card with...
No, I'm pretty sure
the current woman
champion. We've had a card.
I don't think it was every favorite. I remember UFC 284 where Valentina lost and what's her name won the belt.
That was 285, and I actually was at UFC 285. There I met Amanda Hebos, which, by the way, Macy Barber, fuck you. You know.
Well, anyway. That card, the only underdog that won was Alexa Grasso, and you're like, I wasn't going to make her the lock of the week. So sometimes you are just in a shit position. So it is what it is.
Anyway. Last week I picked 2 of the 3 dogs that won. Just didn't have one as the lock. So,
congratulations, though. Muin was a lock. He lost, taking on Said Nurmagomedov here. You're going to see the last name. You're going to think wrestler. Nope. He is a striker. He did work some wrestling in his last fight against Jonathan Martinez. He had 3 takedowns. But for the most part, Said Nurmagomedov's a flashy striker. He's going to use his length really well. He's going to keep that range. He is dangerous both inside and outside the pocket. He can literally throw kicks straight to your head while only being a foot or 2 away from you. His striking, pretty versatile. Takedown defense, solid at 65%. And again, he's not a wrestler. He's not that kind of Nurmagomedov. He's taking on Muin Gafurov. This guy is a wrestler. He's going to plant his feet. He's going to trade punch for punch with pretty much anybody. Incredibly exciting, really high-paced, solid skills everywhere. He's got power in his hands, good wrestling, good speed, good cardio. He does get sucked into brawls where he's just going to lose complete control of situations, start swinging wild, and whatever happens ends up happening. Either way, Muin is exciting as hell. He is coming off that short notice loss to John Castaneda, where he was throwing heavy, he was pushing forward, but the shots just were not good enough to get it done. I'd be lying if I didn't say I wanted to pick Muin here. I looked at it, I know Muin can be a constant come forward, nonstop wrestler, and we watched Said Khobub. I've never said that dude's name right.
Said Khobub.
I get Kakramanov all that. He replied to one of our tweets once, like of these breakdown videos, and he was like, "That dude just called me Sideshow Bob." But we watched him.
Is he back in the UFC yet?
No, he should be, but no. We watched him take down Said Nurmagomedov round after round, control, dominate that fight, and then he actually just ended up getting caught in a guillotine right at the end there. That exact same thing could happen here because Said's takedown defense of 65% seems great, and he has defended quite a few takedowns, but the reality is at the volume that Muin's shooting takedowns, he could have some success. I am still going to pick Said Nurmagomedov to win this fight because I do think he can manage that range. Muin's takedowns in his last fight were trash. I don't know if it was because it was short notice or he was fighting a Division I wrestler, but his takedowns just in that last fight against John Castaneda were not as good as some of the other fights we've seen. So until we see him get those takedowns in the UFC, I'm going to have to lean the other direction here. Why are you making dumbass? You're right. His takedowns were phenomenal, and that's why he beat Sexy Mexi while being your lock of the week. Idiot.
Let it out.
I did.
That was it. No, there's more. I know there's more. Go ahead.
If the dog was in here, he'd catch one too. I've never hit the dog, by the way.
And I've never whipped my penis out in front of a woman like that. So, just to go back on the MySpace top 4 thing. Always get consent. Consent's very important, guys. Yeah, I mean this fight breakdown is pretty simple, right? The playbook to beat Saeed is there. We saw that with Saeed Yokub, right? You got to get the takedowns. You got to have control. And if you do that, we've seen Saeed slow down in fights. This is another one of those situations where I've said if I want to say Veronica.
A girl said hi to you in the chat, and now you can't get your brain right.
She said, by the way, she didn't say hi. She said, I love Jacob. I'm not a fighter, but I would kick your fine ass anytime you want.
That's a 300-pound dude right now in his basement. Well, congratulations.
At this point, I'll talk to anybody at this point. But the playbook is there, and this is what I'll say. I mean, what am I talking? Oh, it's not Veronica. What's her? The first girl on the card, the Russian
Victoria Dudakova.
Victoria. So just like the Victoria fight, just like the Javid fight, this is one of those situations where if Saeed comes in and loses this first round, things could get very interesting. Because if he loses the first round, that means he was taken down and controlled, and his gas tank may not hold up. The playbook is there. The issue is for Muin. He does hang out on the feet. He does throw wild stuff in the striking. Saeed's going to be far and above the better striker in this matchup. Saeed could hurt him on the feet. But as you mentioned, I will agree with you. Muin, with his wrestling, can be a little bit too desperate. And when you become a little bit too desperate and you shoot from a little bit too wide and you get a little bit too lackadaisical in the way that you're trying to get takedowns, Saeed is a guy that will catch your neck. I mean, it is stupid to say that this guy is live for guillotines, because I know I hate guillotines more than anything, and front chokes and all this shit. But Saeed is a guy that he just built for that shit. I mean, his long, lanky style and the way that he can sink those in, he's so fast that if you come in with Saeed was doing a great job. Was steamroll, was looking like he was going to be the next big prospect. Oh my God, this underdog's coming in and smoking Saeed Nurmagomedov. And it took one. Boom. And all of a sudden that fight is over. I think the same thing kind of happens here. Muin's going to have some success, get a takedown or two, maybe get hurt on the feet, and then he's going to get caught in something with a lazy takedown. But if Muin's able to get the takedowns and control kind of that whole first round, Saeed might get a little bit too desperate for those front chokes and those guillotines and really kind of get controlled and lose this fight. So I think this is another one where Saeed better win that first round. Maybe find a finish in the first round, because the longer this fight goes, I think I trust Muin a little bit more. I know he kind of slowed down that short notice fight, but he's kind of one of those guys that just kind of keeps going. Tajikistan, stand up, baby.
It's funny, everybody from Tajikistan includes Tajik in every one of their social media handles everywhere. It's pretty funny.
I'm very proud. They had because him and Muin and
yeah. The dude fighting Nathaniel Wood.
Yeah, I want to say Evlov, not Evlov, but Naimov. They fought on the same card last time as well, and I think there was like a stadium full of people watching, waiting to watch their fights, just regular basic ass fights. They're very proud people, which is pretty cool. I wish anybody supported me like that, you know?
Yeah, no.
I've got Katie, that's it.
Who's already gone.
Yeah,
said one comment.
I said I'm interested, and she was like, "Oh shit." She wanted me to play a little hard to get, too accessible. I'm way too accessible. There's no doubt about that.
Anyway, $8,800 in DraftKings. I don't think he is worth it. I don't think he's going to pull that. Like I said, I don't think he is going to pull off a random submission or something like that. I think it's going to be a pitter-patter striking match. Muin is tough. He's going to come forward. He might have some success. I think Saeed's going to win a decision just by playing that outside striking game. So I don't think he's worth $8,800. You think he is worth the $8,800 in DraftKings Fantasy?
I think he might be. I don't want to disrespect Muin. I like Muin's toughness, but when you're in a choke, you're in a choke. You can't really out-tough a choke, you know?
I do know.
I bet you do.
WeWantPicks.com. Click become a member at the top. It's only $10. You're going to unlock everything you have ever wanted for these fights. You're going to get data, metrics.
What's
bets.
your safe word?
I'm full. Something I would never normally say.
You don't.
So
You have to. I mean, you
just
have an
can't be
established safe word, don't you? Don't you guys?
Do you have light dressing? Is my safe word?
I'm being serious. You guys, I assume, have a established safe word.
No. I think it is. Did you finish? And then, usually no, and then that's the end of it. It's just $10 a month, guys.